Hey everybody, Graham Nolan here. Just wanted to pop in real quick and give everybody a hearty thank you for our launch day success yesterday. Um, we did in less than 24 hours what the Shanu did in 10 days. So that's amazing to me. It shows that the backers returned, and I was so happy to see that. Um, we're so close right now. We've crushed two stretch goals already. Um, Let's see. Take a look at those stretch goals. Here we go. We've already busted through the trading card and the bookmark because everybody needs a bookmark. Let's face it. But we're only $345 away from this book being completely colored, full color. This story is going to need that color, and I have no doubt we're gonna crush that within the next 15, 20 minutes, something like that. So thank you. I just uh, Alien Alamo is killing it thanks to you, and just keep it going. Let's get through the rest of these stretch goals, and everybody gets goodies. I love this aspect of it. It's just like a snowball going down a hill, and it just keeps building and building, and it's so cool because the product just gets better and better. Content gets better. Production values get better. Everything gets better the more people that discover it. And so if you've backed it, please continue to share it and tell your friends about it. If you've got comic book friends, which I'm sure most of you do, let them know about this. Let them know what some of us indie creators are doing out there right now. And if you haven't seen this yet, let's go through it a little bit, and we'll start with the video. Let me first pop it over here. Here we go. Sweet. We got to give a shout out to Nick Grosh, who did that trailer for me. He also did the Chinook trailer, and he's really, really good. If you guys have followed me through the 31 Days of Monsters, you know that my favorite sci-fi movie of all time is The Thing from Another World, and that burn through at the end where Alien Alamo burns through, the logo burns through. That was a direct request of mine to Nick. I said, I really would love to have that like they do in the opening of The Thing from Another World. And John Carpenter did it in his version of The Thing too. So that was like a real fanboy moment for me to see that logo burn through. It was really, really cool. So let's see. Let's go through a few of the perks here that we got. This is the featured perk. It gets you the 3 books. It's the 1 book, but the 3 collectible variant covers. It also gets you the mini print that'll be signed by me, and that's a really great deal. A lot of these got snapped up yesterday. It's showing 18 here, but there's I think a couple hundred that got snapped up in the the sale price yesterday. That Sheneum backers were able to access, and people that signed up for the mailing list. So whenever these mailing lists go around, you should always sign up for them, because you always get extra goodies and you find out the stuff first. So for my next list that goes out, please sign up for it. But if you're a backer, you're already on it. So anybody that's backed the projects automatically gets grandfathered in. So here's the story if you haven't heard it yet. It's 1957, and the Russians have just launched Sputnik into orbit. The world was changing. World War II veteran Travis Houston, a direct descendant of Sam Houston, by the way, was struggling to adapt. All Travis wanted when he mustered out of the Marine Corps at the end of World War II was some peace and quiet and a safe place to raise his son James. But the horrors he experienced in the Pacific and the death of his wife have left him empty and distant. The meteor shower changed all that. Only it wasn't a meteor shower, it was an invasion. Creatures from another world want ours, and the only thing standing between them and us is a man, a boy, and his dog. The Houstons are vastly outnumbered, but they are Texans, and they have each other, so the odds might just be even. So that's the premise for Alien Alamo. It's going to be a balls to the wall action tale, but the main anchor of it is it's a story of relationships. It's the story of a father who can't relate to his son because he's been so scarred by his experiences in the Pacific. And this new war comes to his doorstep, and it's sort of just what he needed to be able to connect with his son. And so that's going to be a really cool concept to explore with these characters. As you know, I'm a lover of 50s horror and sci-fi in class. Oh, hello. We got a pumpkin sighting here. Pumpkin just popped in. And so this certainly reflects that love, just like the Sheneum did. And that's sort of the direction I'm going with all my publishing right now. I'm avoiding superheroes, and I'm doing genres and stuff that I like and want to see stories about. Mixed genres. I love cross genre type stories. So and the other thing is that all these stories are going to be interconnected. So they're one-offs, one-shots, self-contained stories, but they all connect to each other. And characters will be appearing and reappearing in the other books as well. So that's kind of a fun way to for me to explore this new universe, if you will, that I'm trying to create. So if you don't want the 3-pack, you can get a digital one if you're a person that just likes to read your comics on the go. This is the wraparound cover, the main cover that I did. Then we have a variant cover B by the great Aaron Lopresti, which larger versions will be scrolling back up in a sec. And then we have the third one by the wonderful Butch Geis. These are just the pencils right now. Butch is busy on another deadline, and I just needed something to place mark in here. But as soon as the inks come in, the colors come in, those will be replaced, and you'll be able to see it. But it's Butch, so you know it's going to be darn good. So while we're in the neighborhood, let's stop by and check out these stretch goals. So we've already busted through the trading card. I got to start working on that today, actually, and the bookmark. My wife Julie gave me a cool idea. She's an avid reader, and she loves bookmarks, and she came up with a really cool idea for this. So I'm going to see if I can't make that work out. And as I said, we're very close to this. In fact, you know what? Let's refresh and see if we got anything here. We're at all right, 24,655. 24,705. Okay, so we're what, $295 away from full color on this book. So that's going to happen. This bad boy is going to look amazing. All right, so at 30,000, we're going to add 8 more pages of story content. So that just means 8 actual story pages. So it'll be 56 pages of story. But it'll be a 64-page book, just like the Sheneum. So there'll be extra goodies added in there, sketches, design elements, all that kind of stuff. At 40, we're going to upgrade the covers on all versions to a card stock with a matte finish, just like the Sheneum was. I really love all my books to look like this, so they all look the same and all have that same feel to them. It's really luxurious is the only word I can think of that really describes it. When you hold it and feel that matte finish on it, it just feels like something special. So then at 50, we upgrade my wraparound cover to that'll have the matte finish anyway, but it'll be upgraded to a spot varnish. Again, the spot varnish, if you remember from the Sheneum, just was killer. It looks so great with the shine coming through on the logos and on the blood. And so I'm going to do that again when we get to that. See, when I said when, because we're going to get to this. I know we are. We'll get in it. I'll have to design a new sticker, an Alien Alamo sticker. I like stickers. I think they're cool. And then when we hit 70, all version 8 covers will be signed by me. So that's a lot of signatures, but it's definitely worth it. Anything above and beyond that stuff will be decided later on. Could be different content, could be upgrades and printing or something like that. You know, I'm trying to keep a balance between the tchotchkes that go with it and the actual content and production. So I know some people like one, some people like the other, but I think you can have a marriage of the two and do the two together so that you've got a little something extra, but then the book also reflects a higher quality. So that'll be fun to figure out. Okay, so then after that, we've got, if you did not get the Sheneum, here's your opportunity, because as I said, these are all going to interconnect, these stories. So you're going to want to know. Now, it's self-contained, so you don't have to have the other books, but you'll probably want to, just so that you can experience the Easter eggs and the shared universe type stuff. And you'll know who some of these reoccurring characters are, which is kind of cool. Well, this is a neat one here. This is going back in the day. This is, I've got boxes and boxes of stuff from 37 years in comics in my basement in a crawl space back there. Some of the stuff I can't even get to. But I discovered a bunch of boxes of my original Monster Island from 1998. And the boxes are unopened. They're mint condition inside. So these are very rare. Only printed, I think, 5,000 back in the day. So there's not. I've got a bunch of them. You know, I've got, like I said, a few boxes of them. So I thought it would be kind of cool. This was the first book that I published under my Compass Comics banner. In fact, it was I created Compass Comics to do Monster Island. And so I thought it'd be kind of cool to pair that up, and you could see, you know, the beginning and the modern version of Compass Comics and where I'm going with it. A little bit about Monster Island. This was a story that sort of parallels what I'm doing now, in that I don't like the direction comics are going. The big publishers are turning away fans in droves, and they don't seem to be learning from their mistakes. And back in 1998, there was some of that too. It was the books were starting to get much more violent, and the characters and costumes became much more sexualized. And I had 3 daughters that were young, and I felt really bad that, like, when DC would send me, because they used to send their freelancers, or certainly the contract guys, everything they published each month. So a big box would show up. And when I was a kid, my mom could just go to the 7-Eleven, you know, and pick up, you know, Superman, Batman, SpiderMan, whatever it was. The only one that gave her pause that she had to look through was Conan. But everything else, you know, the superhero stuff, she could readily do without having to worry about it. Well, when those boxes came to me back in the day, you know, I had to go through them and look through them and make sure they were age appropriate, and most of the time they weren't. Most of the time, the stuff I could give them were the Warner Brothers, the Bugs Bunny stuff, and Scooby Doo, and those kind of things. I couldn't give them the superhero comics that I grew up reading, and I felt kind of sad about that. So I decided I was going to create my own comic for my daughters that they could read and enjoy on one level, because there's nothing in it that was going to be too much for them. But then I could read it, or my friends could read it and enjoy it on a completely different level. And so that was the idea of Monster Island, and how it came about. So it's certainly an all ages book that adults and kids will enjoy. Okay, so and then we have the sketch remark on the inside front cover. I did this with the Sheneum as well. Somebody asked me recently in the comment section why the inside front cover. Well, doing remarks on a cover is sort of a pain, and I think it makes the cover look junky, to be honest with you, when you have a drawing on there. And quite honestly, the surface of the covers sometimes don't even hold the ink well, and they can get smeared and all of that. I wanted a space where I could do it and have white, you know, so I could do the drawing in white so that it would show up. So I chose to leave a space on the inside front cover here. You can see right there, that nice white box. So that's where the sketch will be done. It'll be one of the characters from Alien Alamo. If you're a retailer, I've got some retail levels here. All of these are A, B, and C are 5 copies each. There's a 10% discount for getting those. So that way I figured, you know, a retailer could package all 3 together, and he'd had 5 bags of the collected works. And it's 10% off to do that. I'm going to skip over the head sketch and go right to level 4, because that's 20% off, and that's 10 books. But it's all 10 of the cover A. So if you're a retailer and you want to save 20%, you know, you can order those. So here's the original head sketch that seems to be very popular in the other campaigns that I've done. So I've put that up again. Doesn't cost anything extra to ship these things because they can fit right into the books. So that's a good deal there. And if you like original art, and it's the character of your choice, as long as it's an established character, not your own character. So this is the print. You won't see this here because it's not a perk level, but this mini print is available at checkout. You know, there are add-ons when you check out, when you choose your perk, whatever it may be. You'll be offered, like, well, if you ordered cover A, and then you want cover C, but you don't want B, or vice versa, you can add those on, and you can add this on as well. This is the print that comes with the 3-pack, and the print is signed by me in the 3-pack. Okay. There's some other original art levels here. These are covers that I've done in the past. This one is from Spider-Woman back in the early 2000s, I think. This is an Airboy cover, sort of a Mexican standoff type thing with You the Reader. I really like the way this one came out. This one's just from a couple years ago. And then here's the artwork for the mini print. This is 11 by 17, just like the other stuff on Bristol. And then the final perk level is to become a character in the story. I had 2 slots available in the Sheneum. This gentleman here and his son both are in the Sheneum, and they met. They were actually called victim levels. so that they each met with a grisly death at the hands of the Sheneum. But for Alien Alamo, you can choose whether you want to survive or you want to have an alien death, if you will. So it's a fun way to get your name and your likeness into a comic, and you will live in perpetuity that way. So let's give her a shake here. See if we've covered any ground. Okay, 24,790. All right, so we're what, $210. $210 away from color. Well, we got a few people in the room here. Oh, Michael S. says, I received the Sheneum today. It looks awesome. I'll be backing Alien in Alamo shortly, my friend. Thank you, Michael. I really appreciate that. Ian O'Loughlin, I got my copy of the Sheneum here in Ireland 10 days after you shipped. Got here super quick and thoroughly enjoyed it. We'll be backing this later on in the month. Okay, excellent. Thank you, Ian. Dr. Doom head sketch is phenomenal. That was for Chuck Dixon. Chuck backed the campaign. He's a huge Dr. Doom fan. Keaton's going to back it on his next payday. I appreciate that, sir. Darren Wagner says, sweet. Rob Fellows says, hi, Graham Nolan and Alamo Associates. Good stream with EVS last night. Oh, thanks. Yeah, that was fun. We had a good time launching it on Ethan's stream as well last evening. Kaiju asked if anyone saw the Roy Thomas stream with Fraga last night. Wow. No, I haven't seen that. Roy seems to be making the rounds. Billy Tucci and Niall Scala interviewed him a couple days before that. So I'll have to catch those. All right. Man of War 665 Neighbor of the Beast says, cool, thanks. Oh, this I'm going backwards. So I guess somebody was having some buffering issues. Thrim S. I think I'm pronouncing that right. Great start for the first day. Cheers and beers, Graham. Thank you, sir. Hyper Kaiji says hello to Pumpkin. She's already gone back upstairs. She's probably sleeping already. Beard Guzmatron. Beard Guzmatron. I'm not even going to try. Love the Sheneum, Sir Nolan. Would love to see you expand on the Western New York horrorverse with maybe doing something with the Devil's Hole, Niagara Falls, or the Porter Monster Burial of the Manhattan Project. Porter Monster Burial of the... I don't know that one. I'll have to look that one up. Cool. Yeah, I don't want to lock everything down in Western New York. I did Joe Frankenstein there, and I did obviously the Sheneum there. Alien Alamo takes place in Texas, and the third book, The Ghosts of Matacumba Key, take place in the Florida Keys. So that's going to be a fun one to draw. I might have to write off a trip down there, you know, for photo reference, that kind of stuff. All right. Does another daytime live stream mean I need to drink another beer with my lunch? Yes. I'll never stop you from doing that. Dr. Mask popped in. He's at work, but congrats so far. Keep it going. Well, that's the intention, my friend. I'm trying to get out there. I'll be doing shows. I'll be doing Billy's show tonight. I've got Literature Devil on Saturday. A couple other shows coming up as well. Todd Fox wants to know, how far along are you into production for the Alien Alamo? Other than a tight plot and some scripting, that's as far as I am in production. The way I work on these things, Todd, is that I create assets first. I come up with the idea and plot that out so I know where I'm going. Uh, I do character designs, logos, all that stuff to use as assets for the campaign. And then once the campaign is launched, then I'm in promotion mode to get the word out and all that kind of stuff. And then, like, we've already hit those stretch goals, so I have to do work on those things and get that stuff done. And then once the campaign ends, that's when I roll up the sleeves and really dig into the meat and potatoes of writing, or not writing, of actually producing the art for the projects. So that's how I did it on the Sheneum, and that's how I'm doing it on this, and it worked out great. Lord Crackhead 33 says, "Hail Graham in chat." Reminds him a bit of Tremors too, probably just the landscape. It really doesn't share anything with that. Yes, I am, Rob. Like I said, I'll be on Billy's tonight. Let me open up my calendar and see what I got down so far. So Literature Devils on Saturday morning. Gaslight, I'll be on Saturday evening at 8. Right now, I think Thursday, I will be on Art T. Bear. A bunch of us had gotten together on my channel earlier in the week, and a lot of people enjoyed it. And we thought, hey, that was fun. Why don't we do that again? So might be doing that Thursday. I'm still waiting to get that locked down. And then I've got some other ones I haven't actually put into the calendar yet, but I'll let you guys know as soon as I know. And just, as far as like tonight's Wednesday, right? Yeah. There won't be a storyteller episode tonight because I'll be on Billy's show. I'm in promotion mode right now for this project, this campaign. So I think it's important that I get my face out there and get on other streams and talk some more about the coolness of Alien Alamo. And that goes for Saturday morning too, because I'll be on Literature Devil show in the morning, so I won't be able to get Saturday morning Western Roundup in. So those shows are just on hold for now until I can get some free time. Because right now, I'm just super busy. I've got a million plates spinning in the air, and I just can't do it all. So that's that. All right, let's do a roll here. Timpani, as I used to say on the Jerry Lewis telethons. All right, 24,825. All right. I forgot to look and see what it was before I did that. I don't know if it moved. Did it move? Okay. Yeah, I guess it didn't. All right. Should consider doing Mike Bancroft stream. I don't know Mike. Okay. I'll have to look into that. Oh, Bob Gable says it did move. Okay, good. Uh, 175 away. Okay. We're getting there. It'd be really cool if we hit the color mark while we're live on the air here. I'm going to drop this in case there's some fresh blood in our comments section. The link has now been added in there. So I guess that it looks like I'm not sure if that just adds that to YouTube or if that adds it to Facebook as well. But if you're on, if you're a friend of mine on Facebook, the links are all over the place there. So. Rob says, cool, I can pick my own Western for Saturday. And maybe a monster movie too. Yeah, I like the way you roll. Maybe you could find a monster western. Well, Tremors, that's sort of a monster western. You could go with Billy the Kid meets Dracula, which is pretty crappy, but not a whole lot of choices. Drop Dead says, good afternoon, everyone. Hello. Hyper Kaiju? No. Not Cowboys versus Aliens. That's horrible. It should have been so good. What a great concept. That's one of those cross genres I talked about that should work if you do it right, you know. Well, in some ways, really, that's what we're talking about here with the Alien Alamo. You know, it sort of is Alien versus Cowboys. You know, only it's modern. It doesn't take place in the 1800s. It takes place in 1957. Like Kick One wants to know if I watch Mystery Science Theater. I don't. I just I just prefer to watch the movies myself, and they've taken some harsh looks at some of my really good sci-fi movies. You know, particularly the Silent Earth. You know, they savaged that movie, and it's so much better than the way they portrayed it. You know, I mean, we all make fun of these things as we watch them. You know, the limitations and the cheapness sometimes, but sometimes it can get a little mean spirited. So no, the answer is no. I don't watch those. All right. So if there's anybody else that popped in here, let's doopy doopy. Okay, did I cover everything here? I think so. Yeah, I love the color on this wraparound that Elizabeth Brightweiser did. I always wanted to work with Liz, and I reached out to her, and she was just very gracious and wanted to do this, and she just did a killer job. They're doing great stuff over there with their Allegiance Press. If you haven't checked out their books, give them a look, because they've got some really great product. My favorite is the Bass Reeves book that they're doing, that Kevin Grevaux and David Williams are just killing it on. That's a good one. Nora's Saga is great. The Futurist is great. Butch Geis is doing that. That's probably why he hasn't been able to get the inks done here on this, because he's got those deadlines to take care of. But he'll get to it, and it's going to be killer. Look at that drawing. Look at that. That is so great. I love this this imagery here. This really calls back to me of The Searchers, where Ethan Edwards comes along the ridge and he looks out and he sees his brother's house burning. You know, it's such a powerful image that George Lucas stole it and used it in the original Star Wars movie. But looks like he's got that whole feel there, the camera angle and the flames going up. So that's going to be really great. Yeah, and Aaron knocked it out of the park here too with this one. His alien crab things look more alien than mine. So I might have to steal some of his techniques here. But that's good stuff. Good stuff. All right, so let's play the trailer one more time for anybody that's popped in here that missed it. thing from How the World Burned Through. Yeah, love it. Fun, fun, fun. Very, very cool. Let's see here. Somebody had a. Oh yeah, I wanted to address Cool Cotton. Still waiting on his Sheneum. Email me your backer number, and I'll check the tracking number on that. Not sure where you live. People are still getting it. Somebody just messaged me, or I think somebody in here just said that they got theirs yesterday. So, the mail is slow right now. So that could be all that it is, But I'm happy to check on it for you if you want to email me your backer number. Albino Thunderbuns. That's a great name. Who's actually Joe Fulton. We met on RT Bear's show, and I'm also a co-host on Michael Bancroft's show. I'd be happy to introduce you to Mike, and we'd give you a warm welcome. Awesome. Yeah, let's do it. That'd be fun. I enjoy doing these things. Leg Kick One's backing it tomorrow. Excellent. Thank you, sir. Red Rooster is really good. Yeah, I thought I was missing one. I missed Mitch's himself. Yeah, Red Rooster is good too. They're all good. Every one of their books is great. I hope Allegiance is very successful. It would be nice to see comics make a comeback in supermarkets and corner stores. Yeah, it would. Yeah, I'd like comics to be more accessible to the general audience. Right now, you sort of have to seek them out. You have to know where to look. You got to have a comic book store, that kind of thing. Occasionally, you can find them at a grocery store in their magazine racks. So, hey, it looks like half my head is blown out here. I must be getting a green shadow. Look at that. Whoa. Anyway, yeah, it would be nice to get them into a general audience again. Basically, so the kids can find them. Kids can discover them on their own, and then fall in love with them like we did. Who did the music for your trailer? I don't know. That was Nick put all that together. I'm assuming it's it's one of those music tracks that you can use. It better be. Hey, this is where I came in. Well, I can't watch that video enough, so you're stuck watching it too. I think it's really cool. Oh, he thinks it's stuck at customs. Oh, that's possible. So it sounds like it's going over. Okay. Oh, sorry you have to deal with that, brother, but it'll eventually get there, I'm sure. Hey, Graham, you should get on How to Draw Comics. Net show with Corey and Clayton Barton. Okay. Yeah, sure. I think I reached out to Clayton once when my other project was going, but I never heard back from him. I know we differ in opinion on versions of The Thing. He's talking about the movie, not Ben Grimm. But great job on that title graphic. Kick ass. Yeah, yeah. That's all Nick's work. Good stuff. Dude Without Fear. I'm a little nervous that Allegiance Arts books keep getting pushed back. It makes me worried. I love their stuff and I want them to do well. Well, they had the unfortunate timing to release right during the lockdown. Their first books came out right when the pandemic really struck, and so I think they're just trying to get back up to speed and get things going again. And as the country starts getting out from under this, I'm quite sure that they will do good. What was my favorite kill that I came up with in the Sheneum? Um, I think it's the one where Tom Bailey uh, uh, has walked out on the porch and he's flicked off the storm and he turns around and he says, "Look, no boogeyman." And then the Shinu comes up and like he's got this one really big claw and grabs him by the head and that claw comes right up through his mouth and his teeth get knocked out and stuff. I think that was my favorite. That was one of those ooh moments when you read it. I follow you on Twitter, so if you follow me back, I can set up a group DM with you and Mike, and you guys can schedule an appearance. My Twitter handle is at right side up. Okay, excellent. Thank you, sir. Todds Truth says the great trailer and a project looks awesome. Thank you. Ah, yes. When we're talking about cross genres or watching a monster slash western, Valley of Gwangi. Yeah, I always forget about that one. Like kick when I think a alien versus gunfighter showdown would be cool as a story. Alien versus gunfighter. Do you mean like the xenomorph aliens versus a gunfighter, or is a gunfighter a particular character? I'm not sure. Maybe you could elaborate. It was an adventure as a kid to go to a corner store to pick up comics or cards. It would encourage kids to get away from video games. It was fun, to go there every week and see what was on the spinner racks, what came in. I remember one time my brother and I were waiting for this Spider-Man comic to come out. I think it was Spider-Man 136 or 137. It had the Green Goblin in it, and it was a two-parter, and they left you hanging at the end of that first part. And we walked by this little luncheonette in Long Island called the Cozy Nook in Long Beach, and they were closed, but the newspaper delivery guy was taking all the magazines and the comics and he was putting them on the shelf, and we could see that book. We were looking and we're standing at the window like this, and we couldn't get in till the next day. That was so cool, so exciting. And it's that's the kind of passion I'm trying to bring to my comics. That when you work with these corporations for so long, they take the life out of it. They take the fun out of it, and I try to reestablish that. Because this is all I ever wanted to do was write and draw comics. It's my favorite outlet, my favorite medium to work in, and when they kind of put that they put the candle out in you, and you really have to work hard to keep that ginned up and keep that energy level up. And for me, it's the art form itself. And now that I'm out from under that yoke and I'm doing this kind of stuff, I'm just constantly ginned up, constantly excited about concepts and ideas that I can bring to you guys, to the marketplace directly, instead of having gatekeepers telling me what I can or cannot do. You guys will tell me what I can or cannot do. You'll either buy it or you won't, and that will let me know. But yeah, it's really a great time to be doing these comics. What are your hopes for Compass Comics? To just publish your own stuff, or would you like to publish other people's work as well? Right now, it is to publish my own stuff as I try to establish my brand, to keep that quality up. But eventually, I do want to publish some other people's stuff. As I get more and more successful in this venue here, this crowdfunding venue, which is what I'm hoping to do, is get more and more successful. Then I can branch out and bring in other talent to do stuff. I would want it to be creator owned. I'd want them to own their own properties, and just get a piece of the pie for doing all the publishing and all that other stuff. But right now, it's basically just an outlet for my own projects and stuff. And then eventually, I'm thinking about actually bringing in new talent, or other talent to do stuff on my banner. Leg Kick explains, no, a original Alien versus a Western style gunfighter protecting his town. Yeah, that would be cool. What are the chances of compiling Sunshine State Notebook at some point? It's on the docket. Let me just say that it is something I definitely want to do. I just don't know how big a market it's going to be, so how many people would be interested in that kind of stuff versus this kind of adventure comics that I'm doing. But I really want to do it. I'd like to do a hardcover of all my strips. Like my old coworker used to say, anything with multiple decapitations is a win. King Crow says, caw, caw. Ahoy there, folks. I like that. Um, 7-Eleven or Time Saver was my comic shop in the 70s and 80s. Yeah, 7-Eleven for me too, after we had moved to Florida. That's where we used to buy our comics too. Well, let's see. Graham Nolan mentioned it yesterday, but it got lost in all the chat. But what do you think about a tin badge with an Alien Alamo logo as a perk? Like the 50s TV and radio shows. That's a possibility. Right now I'm looking into these really cool bullet keychains that are actually engraved. So they'll say Alien Alamo, and they'd be in I'm thinking of two different calibers because he has a 30-30 Winchester, and then one point in the story he's going to pull out his M1 carbine, which is a 30-06. And both of those keychains come in those calibers, and they look really cool. And they're actually real used bullet brass, and then a new topper put on. They're not loaded. They don't have any powder in them or anything like that. But they're really cool, and I think that would be a neat tchotchke, if you will. I'm trying to think of things that would be interesting to have that are not just junky stuff, but kind of cool to have to represent the campaign and the book. So R2D2 for life. All these are one shots. These are all, and there's no sequels, but there's spinoffs. So Alien Alamo is a spinoff. It will connect to the Sheneum, and then the third book will connect both of those two together. It'll be much more clear in the third book how all three of these connect. Hey, Marcus, nice to see you in here today. Congrats on the successful launch thus far. Can't wait for Alien Alamo. Thanks, brother. An Alien Alamo 50 style radio show would be cool and original. Just an idea. Well, then I gotta write a script for it. We gotta hire actors to do it. Yeah, it'd be cool. Once again, I concur. Oh, Dr. Mass says the bullet sounds cool as well. Yeah, and it's relatively easy to ship. I can put that in with the comic, wrap it in some bubble wrap, and it can go in the Gemini mailers with little or no cost at all to ship. So that's what I was talking about last night when I'm trying to streamline this. Just trying to make this easier to put add-ons in without it racking up a ton of shipping costs. So it's a work in progress, but we're getting there. Hail Graham in chat. Thank you, Andrew Taz. Dr. Mass says, leg kick one. Really shooting for the moon. I love it. Well, let's see if we got any motion here. All right, so we're at 825, right? So we're 175 away. Well, we're still at 825. No, yep, we're still there. All right. All right, let's go, people. We got to get this sucker going. We need 175 bucks to get this baby colored. See if I missed anybody here. Anybody got any questions out there? You know, about the book or about you know, anything at all? You know, feel free to ask. Todds Truth back the secret tier. Good, you got your discount. Excellent. A Compass Comics Compass. Well, yeah. That could be then. That could be cool. Yeah. Maybe a watch too. I love watches. What's the next Joe Frankenstein going to be about? Well, that's not currently on the docket just yet. It was mentioned, as I said, that the stuff is all interconnected, and that means stuff that I create is all part of my own universe. So Joe Frankenstein got mentioned in the Sheneum, and I definitely like to do another one. But I think we would have to reprint it under the Compass Comics banner, which would require recoloring it and relettering it. But it's not out of the question. You know, they could set up. You know, it could get the finances together to set it up for the next installment. So I got to get through at least the 3 projects that I have lined up here: Alien Alamo, Ghosts of Matacumba, Key, and then the final one, which I think will connect them all together, or will be the point that it all funnels to. So after that, then who knows? You know, then maybe we'll do Joe, maybe the Escape from Monster Island. That's the other one that's on the back burner as well. Oh, hey Jasper, Plan 9, good to see you. Just got back from his motorcycle. I hope you're living in a warm weather state, because you'd be freezing your butt off if you were here in New York. Any plans for additional stories like an ash can? Yes, I have a story that I want to tell. It's sort of a satirical look at the comic book business, and I was thinking of doing that as an ash can. So we'll see. Dr. Mass wants to know if there's any thoughts on Girls of Dimension 13. Yeah, that's the project I'm doing with Aftershock Comics. That's been in the works now for like 3 years. It got off to a slow start. We had to change artists, and then it still was slow going. But now most of the book is completed. The first issue is scheduled for April. So I'm excited about getting that out there and getting people to see it. It looks amazing. Brett Blevins just killed it, and I can't wait for that to get out there. Will the older Compass Comics books be available at some point? Well, the only one I published was Monster Island, and that is available individually on its own on my website, compasscomics.com. The original Monster Island. The hardcover books are available on Indiegogo. They're in demand. So if you look up uh, Return to Monster Island, it should pop up. That was one that I did with Ominous Press. They published that book, or those two books, I should say, which are the hardcover, oversized hardcover versions of Monster Island. The ones that I have are the original comic book, 1998, the first editions, if you will. Todds Truth has an affinity for Native American stories, as my godparents are Apache. What made you want to tell the Chenoo story? The Chenoo story came about as I was driving on the 190 on the outskirts of Buffalo, which runs along Lake Erie, and there was a snowstorm coming in. And I thought that was a great setting for a horror tale. And so I wanted some kind of snow beast, some kind of horror, something that I could utilize. So I just pulled into a coffee shop. I started doing some Google searches, and I found the Chenoo, which is a Native American myth, similar to the Wendigo. And I think other tribes have other versions of what this creature is. But this one particular one, the Chenoo, I believe, was a northeastern Indian tribe. And I just kind of imported it into the Senecas here in Western New York. And so that's how it came about. Did I read Shaken's Hey Kids comics yet? Yeah. I loved it. Yeah. Mine is more like a farcical, if you will, look at comics and some of the people that have worked in it. And it ties into some. I'm not going to say. I'm not going to say. It's going to be a lot of fun. That's all I got to say. I'd love to see you do an old school pulp style El Dorado-like adventure story. You mean a straight up Western? Like El Dorado? Or are you talking about the search for gold, or the city of El Dorado, that type of thing? Albino Thunderbuns is backer number 421. Outstanding. Let's do a little. We're at 825. We're at 860. Okay. $140 away. 140. Just double check that, because sometimes it glitches. Yep, no, 140. Okay, we're getting there. It's not that far away. All we need is a 3-pack and maybe one more of the regular covers sold, and we're good to go. Then we're in full color. Search for gold. Yeah, right. That's what I thought. Lost civilization kind of deal. Well, I love those kind of stories. I love the high adventure tales and stories of man versus elements, that kind of stuff. All right, Albino, thanks for stopping in. You get back to work, earn lots of money, and back all these indie projects. How's that for a send-off? No, but thanks for coming in, bud. We'll see you. You should do quickie Chenoo strips at the end of your other books. There's a lot of stories in that beast. Yeah, there is. The reason I don't want to do sequels is that when you work on something for 8 months, like a project of these sizes, is that you tend to burn out at the end. And you'll see a lot of times, the work starts to slack off if the energy level isn't up there all the time. And if you know you're doing another book following the one you just did, with the same type of concepts, the same type of environments, all that kind of stuff, I think you get a little bored with it. And so I want to keep the energy level high, and that's why when I know an ending is coming up, I'm still jazzed all the way to the end because I know that's it. It's finished. It's done. And so that's why I don't want to do these sequels. I want to just concentrate on interconnecting the stories, but moving on to other stories and other characters, and it keeps everything fresh. And yet, you can still do some world building with it too. So I'm excited about that. All right. With Florida being fully reopened for a while now, I'm curious to see how MegaCon goes. Is MegaCon scheduled? I was supposed to go to MegaCon. I think last year when it got shut down. Yeah, I was. I was scheduled to be a guest there, and I was bummed because I didn't get my Florida fix. Could use it now. I can tell you that. No, Return to Monster is not on my website. It's on Indiegogo. Uh, the comic book, the 1998 version of Monster Island, is on my website. The Return to Monster Island is on Indiegogo, so you just type it in there. And the hardcover version of Monster Island is there as well. Okay. Anything else, gang? Before we sign off here real quick? I really appreciate everybody stopping in the middle of the day here, sort of unannounced. I just wanted to make sure I popped in to say hello and thank you to everybody that backed the project during the first 24 hours. That's huge, coming out of the gate like that, and I want to keep that going. So, share it, tell your friends about it, and we'll get this sucker moving. Yeah. Okay, I'll just do it one more refresh here, and we'll see what happens before we sign off. Oh, God, we're so close. Oh, $105. That's it. That's it. $105. Right now, it's still black and white, peeps. We need that $105 so we can get this sucker fully colored by an amazing colorist. So, you're gonna want your Western Vistas in color. So, got to get this thing going. All right, my friends. I won't hold you up any longer. It's the middle of the day, and we all got to get to work. I got to get to work on the trading card and the bookmark. So, oh wait, hold on. Jimmy says he got his copy of the Sheneum and the Snow Globe today. Both look great. Oh, thank you, Jimmy. Glad you got it. Yep. Yeah, the Snow Globe was one of those things that hit me in the middle of the night. Like, well, what can I tie in here? And I'm like, oh, Snow Globe. Yeah, that worked out great. I got one in my living room too. So, all right, gang. Thanks for popping in. Really appreciate it. Spread the word, spread the love, and we'll get this sucker going. And thanks again for supporting it. And we'll talk again. Pop in on Billy's show tonight. Well, actually, I think we're just recording. It'll be broadcast at another time. So Saturday morning, I'll be on Literature Devil and Shay's show in the evening. So pop on over there, and we'll talk then. All right? Have a great rest of the day, gang.